Portal. Um, bringing to you guys tonight our Shadows Over Innistrad box opening. The problem with this video, and I apologize, this is going to be recorded a little bit differently. So, I recorded the unboxing, and for whatever reason the file got corrupted. So, I have here all 36 rares for the booster pack, and what I'm going to do is go through each individual rare, and the foils that are included, of course, and show them for you guys right here on the channel. So I apologize, I don't have a full unboxing to show you guys. I am, this coming pay period, buying another box of Innistrad, which I will fully record showing just the rares, and I will do that unboxing for the channel. You guys will actually see the unboxing. But for whatever reason, this last video, the new program I'm using is a little bit shaky, and for some reason just did not want to allow me to upload that video and actually show the full unboxing. So I do apologize in advance, guys. I wish I would have known that little error. Hopefully it's been corrected. It seems to be a codex error with Filmora. I think I've got it squared away. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the rares, and we'll go from there. So we're going to also talk about the promo card that we got with the Midnight Box, and have a little bit of fun with this. So we'll still try to make this a good video for you guys. So without further ado, this is our Midnight Shadows Over Innistrad box. Check it out. I hope you guys enjoy. So the first thing we're going to go through are the foils. And I'll just get these all out of the way here. Our rares over here in the corner. So one of our first pulls, which I thought was really cool, we had a foil Innistrad for us. Can never go wrong with that. We had a Gibbering Fiend foil. Another very cool card. Hound of the Four Bogs foil. We had a Hinterland Logger foil. A Ethereal Guidance foil. Hopefully my camera is going to not give me issues focusing. It's recently been being kind of a turd. I do have a brand new camera that will be coming for all future videos here in the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping to pick it up this coming payday. But in the meantime, unfortunately, I do have to make do with what we've got. Our next foil was a Kessig Forge Master. Very pretty card. And I love the foil artwork for the werewolf. I thought that was phenomenal. The ribcage kind of glows. Very cool. So, putting our foils to the side, let's go ahead and go through our promo. So, our promo for this booster box was an Elusive Tormentor. Try to get that to focus for you guys. It is 2 colorless and 2 black for a 4/4 Vampire Knight, I believe it was. Oh, Vampire Wizard. I can pay 1 to discard a card and transform Elusive Tormentor. When she transforms, she becomes Insidious Mist. This is a very cool card. It's got hexproof and indestructible. It is a 0/1. It can't block and it can't be blocked. So it's pumpable and can get quite nasty. Whenever Insidious Mist attacks and isn't blocked, you may pay 2 colorless and a black, and if you do, transform it. So basically, long story short, this vampire is a Madness Enabler. So you pitch the cards for the Madness for her ability down below here. And then you flip her to deal direct damage to your opponent, and then flip her back to continue pitching for Madness. So I really like this card. She's going to find play somewhere, I know for a fact, and I'm going to look at an EDH deck and see if I can't add her in there. But yeah, she's pretty fun. We're going to just throw her back in her sleeve. Alright. Oh, I actually missed a foil. I apologize. I was hiding in the rare pack. We had a Halpak Wolf. Our other foil. We'll add him to the foil collection. First rare up is Tamio's Journal. That is the Infinite Tutor, for those who don't know. 5 colorless at the beginning of your upkeep. You investigate. When you have 3 clues, you can sacrifice all 3, search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. Infinite Tutors are great. I like this card a lot. We had a Marco of Dread Knight, another wonderful card. 3 colorless, 2 black. 3/3 Vampire Knight with flying. 2 colorless and a black. Again, Madness Enabler. Discard a card and put 2 1/1 counters on Markov Dread Knight. Definitely first pickable in a draft, in my opinion. Moving right along, we had the most broken enchantment in all of soon-to-be modern Magic. Cryptolith Right. Colorless and a green, enabling all creatures you control have tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. This is one of the most broken enchantments, and I love everything about it. I can't wait to play it. Very cool to pull it. I look forward to its price skyrocketing, so if you do get one of these, hang on to them, because I do believe they're going to be worth quite a penny. We had Epiphany at the Drown Yard. It's an X in blue casting cost. Come on, focus. Instant speed. There you go. Reveal the top X+1 cards of your library and separate them into 2 piles. An opponent chooses one of those piles, and you put that pile into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. So, very cool card. If those of you guys are familiar with, I think it's Forgotten Sphinx, I believe it is. It does the same concept, only this is a lot of cards. This could get really good or really bad, depending on what pile they pick. We had Forgotten Creation. 3 colorless and a blue for a 3/3 zombie horde with Skulk. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may discard all the cards in your hand. If you do, draw that many cards. It's Damia in zombie form. I'm very excited to have this card. Definitely going to find a home in my decks. Already, actually, it's going to go in my Grixis Thrax deck, I do believe. I had a Westvale Abbey. Very cool if you guys don't know much about this land. You can tap it to add a Dustland to your mana pool, 5 colorless, and tap it, pay 1 life, put a 1/1 white and black human cleric creature token on the battlefield. When you have 5 creatures, you can tap, sack all 5, and you flip it. And it becomes a 9/7 with flying, lifelink, indestructibility, and haste. Something very hard for your opponents to deal with. And I'm pretty sure it's going to find a home in my Reanimate deck. Our next rare was Engulf the Shore. 3 colorless and a blue. Instant speed. Return to their owner's hands all creatures with toughness less than or equal to the number of islands you control. I apologize for the glare. Not sure what's going on with this camera. Next up was a Deathcap Cultivator, 1 colorless and a green. He's a human druid. Tap him to add a black or green to your mana pool. Great mana ramp. Definitely going to be going in my Reanimate deck. Can't go wrong with some extra Reanimate and mana rampage. Bygone Bishop, another cool card to draw. 2 colorless and a white for a 2/3 with flying. It is a spirit cleric. Whenever you cast a creature spell with converted mana cost 3 or less, you get to investigate. So you get to add clues, which also works wonderful with Tamio's Journal. One of the top premier pulls of this pack, we did get a Thing in the Ice. Those who don't know, this is one of the most highly anticipated cards on the Shadows Over Innistrad block. It is a 1 colorless, 1 blue for a 0/4 defender, basically a wall. Thing in Ice enters the battlefield with 4 counters on it. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, you remove an ice counter. When it has no ice counters, you flip Thing in the Ice, and it becomes a Woken Horror. Woken Horror is a 7/8, and its ability is that it returns all non-horror creatures to their owner's hands. So basically they now have a 7/8 on the board to deal with. Very cool card, very powerful card. Definitely going to find a home in a lot of EDH decks. I definitely foresee it seeing some standard play. One of our next up was Welcome to the Fold. 2 colorless and 2 blue. This camera is really being a pain tonight. Apologize, guys. It's a sorcery, madness of X and 2 blue. Gain control of target creature if its toughness is 2 or less. If Welcome to the Fold's madness cost was paid, instead gain control of target creature if its toughness is X or less. So just gotta be aware of when you cast this, know what you're after. But this can be a powerhouse. Next up, we had Yeah, you guys saw that, I'm sure. Ever After, 4 colorless and 2 black. It's a sorcery. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Each of those creatures is a black zombie in addition to its other color and types, and then you put Ever After at the bottom of its owner's library. This I really like. This has got Reanimate written all over it. It's definitely going to go in my Reanimate deck. It's a never-ending Reanimate that I can just continuously tutor for. It's pretty sweet. And then, of course, for those of you who saw this, we did pull a Sorin Grim Nemesis. One of the coolest planeswalkers. I love him. 4 colorless, a white and a black. Zoom in for the loyalties here. He does start with 6 loyalty. You can add a loyalty, reveal the top card of your library, and put that card into your hand. I'm trying to read the rest here for you guys. It's each opponent loses life equal to its converted mana cost. Sorry, this camera is really being a pain. There we go. Remove X counters. Sorin Grim Nemesis deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker, and you gain X life. -9 counters. You put a number of 1/1 black vampire knight creature tokens with lifelink onto the battlefield equal to the highest life total among all players. This guy can absolutely wreck the board. Sometimes life gain bites you in the butt. So it was the only planeswalker that we pulled, but very amazing pull. For some reason, my particular booster box seemed a little bent, so I'm trying to kind of warp them back into shape. I'm hoping when I put them in some sleeves and then the binder will clarify that. Next rare was a Slayer's Plate. 3 colorless for an equipment. Equipped creature gets +4/+2. Whenever a equipped creature dies, if it was a human, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying on the battlefield and 3 to equip as well. It's okay. We had Wolf of Devil's Breach, another one of my favorite cards. This guy's awesome. Definitely going to see standard play. 3 colorless and 2 red. Get up there. Or not. Oh, this camera saddens my soul. Let's try another approach here. There we go. Whenever Wolf of Devil's Breach attacks, you may pay 1 colorless on the red and discard a card. If you do, Wolf of Devil's Breach deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to the discarded card's converted mana cost. So again, he's a Madness Enabler, which can be dealt directly to a planeswalker or a player. And he's a 5/5. Definitely going to see standard play. I really like Wolf of Devil's Breach. Encourage you guys to play that card, most definitely. We had a Corrupted Graphstone. For anyone who hasn't seen this, it's a new mana ramp card in the set. It's 2 colorless to cast it. Corrupted Graphstone enters the battlefield tapped. You may choose a color of a card in your graveyard and add 1 mana of that color to your mana pool. So if you're playing like Grixis, this wouldn't be bad to have in there. If you're short 1 particular mana of any color, tap it. If you got it in your graveyard, get to rock and roll. Since Grixis is usually black, red, and blue, it's a mana fixer and it'll help you in the long run. We pulled a Fervent Visions, 1 colorless, a blue, and a red. It's an enchantment. At the beginning of each player's instep, that player draws a card. If the player is your opponent, excuse me, and has 4 or more cards in hand, Fervent Visions does deal 2 damage to him or her. Another cool card. Looks like the camera is starting to kind of cooperate here. Next up, we had Avacyn's Judgment. Let's keep my fingers crossed that the camera wants to cooperate. Invocation of Saint Traff was another one that we pulled on the Midnight Booster Box. It's an enchanted creature. I'll hold it up there for a second so you guys can take a look at that. Basically, whenever this creature attacks, you put a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying on the battlefield, tapped and attacking, which does get exiled at end of combat. I would like to think that's pretty good. You're getting to 4/4 angel, and it's swinging in the air, so, you know, angel swinging is usually a good thing. We had Altered Ego, another amazing card. I'll let you guys can get a good read on that. It goes into play. He cannot be countered. He has X casting cost, 2 colorless, a green, and a blue. Basically, he copies a creature on the board, and then he gets X 1/1 counters added to it. Very powerful card, especially in the green-blue format. If you're grafting counters, this guy should definitely be in your deck. So like our Zuri deck tech, he would definitely be a card that you'd want to be substituting in there. I'm just going to call this card Phobia because it reminds me of a phobia just reading it. Triskaphobia. I personally despise this card. I think it's worthless. But you guys might not. Give me a second to read the abilities there. Basically, supposedly you're supposed to be able to trick your opponents into losing the game at 13 life. I had a guy at the pre-release try to kill me with this, and it backfired horribly. Didn't work for him. Probably not going to work for a lot of decks it's built around. I personally think it should just be chewed on and then leave it at that. One of my top pulls out of this pack next to the Sorin was, of course, Archangel Avacyn. I was very happy to pull this card. For those who don't know what she does, let's zoom in here quick. Give you guys a quick rundown. She gets quite nasty. Oh, sorry. Flash, Flying Vigilance. When Archangel Avacyn enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. So she's wonderful if you're going to board wipe. You flash her in, give everything indestructible, board wipe, kill your opponent's creatures, and then when a non-angel creature you control dies, transform Archangel Avacyn at the beginning of your next end step, and she becomes Avacyn the Purifier, which is a 6/5 flyer. And whenever she does transform, she deals 3 damage to each other creature and each opponent. So she's a board wipe in herself. Very beautiful card. Very happy to pull this. We'll put that up here in the Sorin pile because it's just that amazing. We had a Drog School Calvary. Trying to come on now. There you go. Give you guys a second to read over the abilities there. We had Drolf's Masterpiece. This camera's really making my night difficult. It starts as a 7/7, gets -1/-1 for each card in hand. You may discard 3 cards and return Drolf's Masterpiece from your graveyard to the battlefield. I like the fact that he's a Madness Enabler for blue, but, I don't know. We'll see if he sees a home or not. He was one of our mythics in the box next to Avacyn and, of course, Sorin. Then we had Inexorable Blob, another really cool card. I really like this guy. Give you a second to read his abilities. I'm trying to speed up the video a little bit so we're not going over 40 minutes because it seems to be when this likes to time out. 2 colorless and a green to cast him. He's a 3/3 ooze. Very cool card with Delirium. We had a Prized Agalum, another zombie, another very fun zombie. Same routine it looks like to make these focus a little bit. So 3/3 for 3 that continuously comes back, not a bad deal. We had a foil rare. We had a Always Watching foil, which is very cool to see. Basically, all non-token creatures get +1/+1 and have vigilance. Could definitely be a powerhouse. I'll put that up over there. We pulled a dual land. We had a Port Town. Very cool. We also had an Asylum Visitor, another cool card. Really like this guy. I've heard a lot of people kind of raving about him. We'll see if it's as good as they say. Yep, Madness, or Asylum Visitor, excuse me, with a Madness of 1 colorless and a black for a 3/1. Yeah, gotta love the vampires. One of my other favorites, and was on a lot of the top 10s and top 20 lists for this particular set, was Sin Prodder. 2 colorless and a red. Basically, at the beginning of your upkeep, you reveal the top card. An opponent may have you put that card into your graveyard. If that player does, Sin Prodder deals damage to that player equal to the card's converted mana cost. So it's a gamble. If they don't want you to have the card in hand, they're going to take some damage. He's a very cool card, and he's got Menace. Kind of a beast. We pulled a From Under the Floorboards. Good zombie creation here. There we go. Come on, baby. There we go. Like I said, not a bad zombie creation. Mindrag Demon pulled another mythic. I think we pulled a total of 4 or 5 mythics in this. We're up to 4 so far with Mindrag Demon. He's got some pros and cons. Whenever he enters the battlefield, you put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 4 life unless there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. So he has a 4/5 for 4 with flying and trample, which is great, but if you don't have 4 cards in your library of different types, you're going to eat 4 damage per turn. That's kind of painful. We did pull a Sage of Ancient Lore. I'll take a moment to read through this guy because he's one of my favorites. 4 colorless and a green. Sage of Ancient Lore's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your hand. When Sage of Ancient Lore enters the battlefield, you do draw a card. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast, transform him. And this is where he gets just ridiculous. He does become a Werewolf of Ancient Hunger. He's got Vigilance and Trample, and Werewolf of Ancient Hunger's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in all players' hands. He's just, at that point, he gets very nasty. I really like that guy. I think he should have been a mythic, in my honest opinion. Definitely a powerhouse. We pulled a Declaration in Stone. Exile target creature and all of the creatures its controller controls with the same name as that creature. You investigate for each creature, non-token creature exiled this way. This will be a powerhouse in Standard for sure. Definitely a cheap board cleaner. We pulled Forbidding Ruins. It's going to be a Grixis dual lands. Going to go right in my Thrax deck. So I was very happy to pull that. Let's put that up there to the side. Diregraph Colossus. Speaking of ridiculousness, this zombie is just off the chain. Diregraph Colossus enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each zombie card in your graveyard. Whenever you cast a zombie spell, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield tapped. 2 colorless and a black for a 2/2. Yeah, I will take him any day. We pulled a second non-foil, Always Watching. So very cool. Won't complain with that. We had a Rattle Chains. Another wonderful pull. I like this guy. I think he's pretty cool. It's a 1 colorless and a blue for a 2/1 flash flying. When Rattle Chains enters the battlefield, target spirit gains hexproof till end of turn, and you may cast spirit spells as though they had flash. Definitely a spirit enabler if you're building a spirit deck, which there seems to be quite a lot of them in the set. So I wouldn't be surprised if Eldritch of the Moon also continues on the spirits. One of my other personal favorites, we pulled a Scourge Wolf. This guy will definitely see standard play. 2 red for a 2/2 first strike. If you've got Delirium, he's got double strike. So he's absolutely nasty. Very cool card. Definitely first pickable in the draft. I really like Scourge Wolf. Last couple cards here. We had Gyre Reach Bandit. 2 colorless and a red for a 3/2. Werewolf with haste. At the beginning of your upkeep, if no spells were cast, transform him. And he does transform into a 4/3, which enables you to immediately transform all werewolves that enter the battlefield. So very cool. He's going to be a staple if you're building a werewolf deck, that's for sure. We pulled a Burn from Within. Another wonderful card. Kind of zone in there, let you guys read that for a second. Definitely a great way to get rid of cards with Indestructible on them. Kind of nice to actually see that being introduced in the format. And our final card was Confirmed Suspicions, one of the newer counterspells. Counter target spell, investigate 3 times for 5. So I'm not sure if I'd ever play it. It's a pretty expensive counterspell. It's the same casting cost as I'm drawing a blank right now. It's coming out in Eternal Masters. I should really know this. Yeah. Force of Will. That's the one. It's the same casting cost of Force of Will, only it doesn't have the cool ability of Force of Will, obviously. But being able to investigate 3 times can have its benefits. So it may see a home. But yeah, that was our booster box. We pulled some pretty awesome stuff, and yeah, I'm definitely excited with the Avacyn, Archangel, the foil I was watching, and the Sorin. Those 3 cards alone, or excuse me, those 3 and the Thing in Ice had dropped, just those 4 cards alone right there, dropped the box to 89 bucks. So those 4 cards alone paid for the booster box. So I was really excited to see. It was definitely a, over $100 box. And I look forward to seeing in under 2 weeks the one that I open up, hopefully with a brand new camera and no issues right here on the channel. I'm really excited to see what we pull out of that. So, until next time, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing here at mtg-portal. If you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button down below. Helps out more than you guys know. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content. If you have questions, comments, please leave them down below. Same thing, if you didn't like the video for whatever reason, give me a thumbs down, leave a comment down below so we know we can do better. One other thing before I let you guys go, I do want to talk about last month's Patreon rewards. Again, this will be going to Peter Hayden, as he is our sole patron currently on mtg-portal, but I stick to what I promised you guys, and he does have 3 sweet packs this month. He is going to be scoring himself a pack of Shadows Over Innistrad, a pack of Oath of the Gatewatch, and a pack of Nemesis. That video will be going up this weekend. I've got Monday, Tuesday off from work, so look for that video to be going up, and a little bit more on Patreon for those of you who are interested and still kind of unsure if you want to do it, unsure really what you're going to get. We'll go into more depth about that. But as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. We'll talk to you all soon. Take care.